as teens. Teenagers are at the stage where they pick a lot of ideas and skills, and that can impact them for long, or even for life. How are we helping teenagers to cope with these issues? Maybe we can talk to them, but how many times do we remember the things we are told? Most of the students I teach, they don't remember the topics I teach. But there are units I teach and the students remember forever, like dance, like drama therapy, like acting, because we do. What if we took drama therapy not like something for body to heal, but as a tool that we can use to engage our students? We have a lot of curriculum activities. In CBC now we have PPI. PPI, I've never known the meaning ever since I was a kid, but it is the time when people sing gospel music in the morning. What if during that time, instead of just singing gospel, people could share what they feel, what their thoughts were, what they need to do? And just to finish on that, I'd like to just go back to an issue that I said. Again, I think I asked my honorable legend. It is important to write books. However, it is also important to share knowledge freely, and that's why we have websites called Creative Commons. I am still appearing. If there is a creative who's interested in having their documentary, here are the 5 people who introduced me to drama therapy. 2 are gone. 3 are left. And if they didn't share that with me, I want to be able to share that with my students. Thank you.
Let's appreciate our Miss Mo. Clearly interesting hair-raising issues on the interdisciplinary nature of what we practice and how we can leverage that to address social issues and foster transformation among people. Our next presenter is not just a familiar face, but she is a force in the industry. Dr. Julissa Rowe is a globally acclaimed award-winning actor, director, and coach based in Nairobi. She holds a BA in drama and a master's in intercultural communication and a doctorate in ethnodramatology. She toured the US professionally for 14 years with several original one-woman shows, both musical and dramatic. In Kenya, she has been seen on several local TV series such as 1 Million and films, and is the founder and director of Chemichemi Players. She loves using multiple platforms for theater in bringing a meaningful experience to actors and the audience alike. She's an academic as well, with published books and articles to her name, and is a leading voice in the use of creative arts in theological education and communication. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Julissa Rowe. Let's everybody hand it to Jessia. Let's continue with
Thank you so much. Can I just ask you to stand and stretch for 5 seconds? I'm sure you're tired of sitting. Check yourselves out. Like I should do the warm-ups. Go ahead and have your seats. Thank you so much. I'm speaking this morning on how to leverage theatre for mental health awareness and intervention in Kenya, using a cycle of change approach. In Kenya, the social fabric is increasingly strained by profound mental health challenges, particularly depression and suicide. Approximately 4.4% of the population struggle with depression, making it a leading cause of disability. Suicide rates are equally alarming, with a rate of 6.5 per 100,000 people reported by the World Health Organization, and over 500 suicides recorded in Kenya in 2020. These numbers have only increased since then. Addressing these issues require innovative strategies that effectively engage and mobilize communities. This paper explores how theatre forms are being utilized as dynamic tools to address mental health issues through a cycle of change. How does change happen? Change normally begins with realizing that there is an unmet need. Making people aware of their own needs is often necessary. The Brazilian Paulo Freire has coined the term conscientization for the work of making people aware of their needs and of the fact that there can be solutions. The conscience is aroused, sensitivity to long-accepted conditions is increased, and with it, there is a new determination to change in ways that will meet the need. The process of change goes through a predictable cycle that can be intentionally used when working to change perceptions and patterns of behavior, particularly in issues that affect a society, such as mental health. Theatre is a powerful tool for helping to implement change, particularly when intentionally connecting with the different steps in the cycle. The cycle of change follows 6 steps. Number 1, awareness. Number 2, interest. Number 3, consideration. Number 4, choice. Number 5, action. And number 6, readjustment. The initial stages of change, awareness and interest, are primarily achieved through mass and public media, which inform and evoke emotional responses, such as humor and pathos, to generate interest in an issue and proposed changes. Subsequent stages of consideration and choice typically occur within interpersonal networks. The final stages of action and readjustment leverage both public media and interpersonal networks to implement and sustain changes in the issue under study, in this case, mental health knowledge and practices. The first step toward change is developing awareness of an alternative. In Kenya currently, suicide is considered a criminal act instead of recognizing it as a mental illness, and those who struggle with depression and suicide as needing assistance to access support and treatment. Societal perception of those struggling with depression and other forms of mental illness has been dismissive or notably lacking in understanding and sympathy. It is necessary to raise awareness of the true nature of mental illness, as well as avenues of support and treatment. The primary goal at this step is to give information. Information that is relevant to the target group, information that will give good visibility to the topic, and information that arouses some emotional interest. Utilizing mass media, such as speeches, drama, debates, classes, and electronic and social media, are helpful at this stage. Theatre is particularly well suited to this stage of the cycle, as plays tell the story of a person struggling with mental illness and create an emotional bond with the character and the story on the part of the audience. An example of this type of play done recently in Kenya is Just June's production of Manic Monologues, which gave first-person accounts of people struggling with mild to severe mental illnesses, and gave an appeal to the audience to learn more about such struggles in order to change their attitudes towards the sufferers. Once there is awareness and interest in meeting a need, and an alternative has been proposed to meet that need, then there needs to be consideration. This consideration happens through conversation, discussions, questions, and thought. Emotion is involved as personal and relational issues are considered. Will the change really help? What other changes will be